Right. Moving along now, right? Verse 44, Surah 9. Those who believe in Allah on the last day will not ask permission of you to be excused from striving or fighting with their wealth and their lives. And Allah is knowing of those who fear Him. Right? So the book is saying that believers would never ask the permission. It was if you ask them permission to be excused from using your wealth to help others, something wrong with you, right? So remember, there's a other verse that say, "Oh, your wealth will not avail you on the day of judgment." Right now, this verse is coming and saying, "Hey, if you ask and God permission to use your wealth, right, in order to benefit somebody else, right, something wrong with you, right?" So that's remember, I tell you that verse is made multiple videos, right, including just last night, telling you that verse is meant to be fought, right? Allah means for you to fight. Meant when he said that your wealth will not avail you on the day of judgment, right? That verse exists for you to stand up against, right? This verse confirms that. Right? Those who believe in Allah and the last day will not ask permission of you to be excused from striving with their wealth and their lives. Indeed, Allah is known of those who fear Him. Only those who would ask permission of you who do not believe in Allah and the last day, and whose hearts have doubted, and they in their doubts are hesitating. And if they had intended to go forth, they would have prepared for it some preparation, but Allah disliked their being sent. So he kept them back, and they were told remain behind with those who remain. Had they gone forth with you, they will not have increased you except in confusion, and they would have been active amongst you, seeking to cause you fitna, chaos, and dissension. And among you are avid listeners to them, and Allah is knowing of the wrongdoers. They had already desired dissension before and had upset matters for you until the truth came and the ordinance victory of Allah appeared while they were averse. And among them is those who says, "Permit me to remain at home and do not put me on trial." Unquestionably, into trial they have fallen. Indeed, hell will encompass the disbelievers. If good befalls you, it distresses them. But if disaster strikes you, they say, "We took our matter in hand before," and turn away while they are rejoicing. Never will we be struck except by what Allah has decreed for us. He is our protector, and upon Allah let the believers rely. Do you wait for us except one of the two best things, martyrdom or victory, while we await for you that Allah will afflict you with punishment from himself or at our hands? So wait, indeed, we are along with you, we are waiting. Spend willingly or unwillingly, never will it be accepted from you. Indeed, you have been a defiantly disobedient people, right? Now this is something to be fought as well, right? God will never tell somebody something like this, right? Even if suppose you are a person in the past who you don't like to spend, right, and then you change, you start to spend your money, right, on Allah, right, on the cause of Allah, right? Allah will never, right, tell anybody, right, something like this, that spend willingly or unwillingly, never will it be accepted from you. Indeed, you have been defiantly disobedient, right? Allah will never, right, never tell somebody that wealth and striving for his cause will not be accepted from him, right? So anybody who come to tell you this thing, right, they are actually anti God, anti Allah, anti anything good, right? If somebody tell you to spend willingly or unwillingly, that your money will never be accepted if you strive in the cause of Allah with your wealth, right, that person or people, right, or energy source, right, is wrong, right, and they is anti good actually, right? Because once you give, right, you give and you fight every cause of Allah because you're given from your wealth. That's what you have, right? It will be accepted, right? Um, what prevents their expenditures from being accepted from them, what prevents their expenditures from being accepted from them, but that they have disbelieved in Allah and His Messenger, and that they come not to pray except while they are lazy, and they do not spend except while they are unwilling, right? Um, Listen, let's end this hatred, right? Let's end this hatred, right? You do once you give, once you donate, you give money, you have an open heart, you give, right? That automatically makes you a believer, right? That automatically makes you a believer, right? So you don't have to prove anything, you don't have to demonstrate anything, you don't have to do anything else, because that's one of the foundational pillars of Islam on the whole, right? That you're donating, that you're giving of your wealth, so on, right? So that automatically makes you a believer, right? So it have nothing really like, hey, what prevents your expenditures from being accepted, right, from them, but they have disbelief in Allah, right? Once you spend, so this book is really a test of your intelligence, right? Once you spend, right, does not this once you spend in the cause of Allah, meaning spend as and donate and stuff, does that automatically make you a believer, right? It automatically makes you a believer, right? Because that's one of the pillars in Islam. So you don't have to, in order for your money to be accepted, you don't have to pray in the way that your fellow Muslims pray, right? You don't have to connect with God in the way that they connect with God, right? In order for you to for your donations to be accepted. That something is wrong fundamentally in that thinking, right? So let's end this hatred, please, right? Let let not anyone's wealth or children impress you. Allah only intends to punish them through them in a worldly life, and that their soul should depart at death while they are disbelievers. Right? And they swear by Allah that they are among people, and they swear by Allah that they are from among you, whilst they are not from among you, but they are people who are afraid. If they could find a refuge or some caves or any place to enter and hide, they would turn to it while they run heedlessly. And among them are some who criticize you concerning the distribution of charities. If they are given from them, they approve. If they are given from them, they approve. If they are not given from them, at once they become angry. If only they have been satisfied with what Allah and His Messenger gave them, and said, if only they have been satisfied with what Allah and His Messenger gave them, and said, sufficient for us is Allah, and Allah will give us of His bounty, and so will His Messenger. Indeed, we are desirous towards Allah. It would have been better for them, right? Once again, I want to confirm that I did not receive any payment, right? Because people like to project thoughts and insert thought projections, right? To you, the book talks about that as well, projections, right? Once again, I want to confirm the fact and the reality that I received no payment for teaching this book. I didn't ask for any payment for teaching this book personally, right? And I do not have the cause to use any money given to me by anybody, right? For payment for anybody. What I fought for was for repatriation compensation for what occurred to me personally and what occurred to our collective group of people collectively, right, in our past history, right? Um, Zakah expenditures are only for the poor and the needy and for those employed for it, and the bringing hearts together for Islam and for freeing captives of slaves, and those in debt, and those for the cause of Allah, and for the stranded traveler, an obligation imposed by Allah. Right? And Allah is knowing and wise. Have a blessed day. We'll continue the verse later today or tomorrow.